Hey all, it's Matt, your average gamer, and for this video, we're going to be focusing on Kung Fu, and I'm going to tell you right now, this is the most fun I've had in Elden Ring in a very long time. I have a lot of fun playing Elden Ring. Shadow of the Erdtree has been amazing, but this Kung Fu stuff is an absolute blast to use. So the last 3 days, quite literally, I've been looking at all the different Kung Fu stuff. Now, you have the fighting one that's hand-to-hand combat, but for me, I ended up having an absolute blast, a fantastic time using the kicking ability and building around that. So we built an extreme kicking build that can do a lot of damage, bleed build up, and pretty much carry you through the game. Later in this video, we're even going to take on Malekith and the Fire Giant, a couple really tough bosses, simply by beating them with kicking. It's pretty amazing what you can do with the kicking abilities in this game. You're going to see on the Draconic Tree Sentinel here, he goes down really fast to the ability and power of kicking. Now, I tried pretty much every status effect. I tried Poison, I tried Frost, I tried Bleed. I tried pretty much all the affinities, mixing different things around, trying different things. Even Heavy Affinity, which it gets an A scaling. And my favorite ended up being Blood Affinity because Bleed is just so overpowered in Elden Ring and still is. You're probably wondering what you're watching right now. If you're about to watch 10 minutes of kicking, and yes, you are, because guess what? The kicking ability is absolutely insane. It's so good, I can't even explain how good this is in words. It really is impossible. You got to try this out for yourself. It does so much bleed build up, builds up on successive attacks, and it does poise damage too. It's truly amazing. So for this video, by the way, we're actually going to get to the build a lot earlier, about 3 to 4 minutes in, and then later in the video, there's going to be a music section where I take on some of the game's toughest bosses, spoiler-free, because they're base game bosses, and you're just going to get to watch that whether you want to watch it or not, and then I'm going to catch up with you guys at the end after that segment. But before we get there, we're going to show off some more bosses, fights, and whatnot, and of course, we're going to be showing the build off early, too. I really enjoyed this one. Again, the most fun I've had in a long time. The kicking is an absolute blast to use with some of these dry leaf arts. They are truly good. They can be really good, and with bleed build up, they're even better. Yeah, I don't think I've had this much fun using a weapon art. Using this kicking ability, man, it's so cool. Just the successive attack build up and the fact that you could just run up to an enemy and then just spam kick them and actually have it do really good damage is amazing. You're going to learn Elden Ring Kung Fu in this video simply by learning how to use a powerful kicking build. I mean, look at this. Mobs, bosses, it doesn't really matter. No matter what you're up against, you can just use the kicking ability for. By the way, I do want to mention something. Bringing back some of these DLC weapons and stuff to the base game is awesome because they're just crazy. I mean, it really is great. Let's jump into the build and stats. And we have Dane's footwork. We have it in Blood Affinity with Dryleaf Whirlwind. We're using the kicking ability. We use the Dragon Communion Seal here. We hit 51 poise. We have Lord of Blood's Exaltation, Shard of Alexander, Shattered Stone Talisman, Melissen's Prosthesis, Thorny Tear, and Faith Tear too. So I looked at the entire list of talismans for DLC. That's the only new one, by the way, that will boost this weapon art. Nothing else truly will. There is the one that boosts damage after rolling, though. That could be a good option, too. We have 60 Vigor, 20 Mind, 25 Endurance. We have 35 Strength, 25 Dexterity with Melissen's Prosthesis, 25 Faith with the Faith Tier, 45 Arcane. And then, of course, for our buffs on this build, we're going to be using Golden Vow and Flame Grant Me Strength to buff this build up further and kick stuff even more. A few more things to mention here real quick that I do want to include towards the end of this video. As far as this weapon goes in Blood, it's very much quality. I checked at Renala to see how my stats would go, how they would distribute, and it's pretty even across Dexterity and Strength when you're in Blood Affinity. So very much a quality weapon. By the way, all of this footage is on New Game Plus Journey 2, and it is really amazing the amount of damage we're able to get. We get hit there. This tree, by the way, does not take bleed damage, but it doesn't matter in the end because the successive attack build-up you can get on the kicks is insane. Yeah, this might be my new favorite weapon in the game. By the way, in the segment coming up here, we are going to show the Fire Giant being kicked. We are showing the Godskin duo. We're going to show Beast Clergyman, Malekith, and then we're going to show Morgoth too. There's some pretty good boss fights that you are absolutely not going to want to miss. Really, they are great. And at the end, we're going to catch up after the segment to say my usual end stuff. And of course, don't forget to sub if you enjoy Kung Fu builds. If you enjoy Elden Ring content in general, don't forget to sub to this channel. We're going to be making builds like crazy. Let's jump into the segment now. I hope everybody that had tuned in enjoyed that segment, enjoyed watching that. That's something I really haven't done before in terms of a music type showcase thing where I don't talk at all. Be sure to sub and obviously kick the sub button. This is an amazing build. Try this one out for sure. Have a wonderful day.